Okay, get this. Have you ever heard of a holiday that's all about celebrating dogs? And I don't just mean your cute little pet at home. I mean every single dog. Well, today we're diving into something truly special. We're talking about Kukur Tihar, Nepal's incredible festival dedicated to humanity's best friend. So, most of us have probably heard of Diwali, right? The big, beautiful festival of lights. Lamps, sweets, getting together with family. But up in the Himalayas in Nepal, they do things a little differently. They put their own amazing spin on it. Yeah, because in Nepal, that festival of lights, it also shines a light on the animals that share our lives. The whole celebration expands to honor this sacred bond we have with all living things. And it's a tradition that's not just ancient, honestly, it's just deeply moving. All right, so this festival is called Tihar, and it's not just a one-day thing. It's a 5-day Hindu celebration, a really big deal in Nepal. You can think of it as this incredible layered event that pulls together gods, family, and the natural world into one big celebration. Really, when you get down to it, Tihar is just a celebration of life itself. For 5 whole days, people show reverence not just to their gods or to each other, but to animals too. It's this beautiful recognition of the huge part they play, both in myths and legends and in our everyday lives. So each of the 5 days has its own special focus. Day 1 kicks off with honoring crows. They're seen as messengers for the god of death. Then day 2 is for the dogs. After that, they celebrate cows and oxen. And the whole thing wraps up with tika, which is all about celebrating brothers and sisters. But it's that second day, the day of the dog, that we're really going to get into. All right, day 2, this is Kukur Tihar, and this is when the spotlight turns completely to our 4-legged friends in a celebration that is, it's just incredible to see. And listen, when I say every dog, I really mean it. This isn't just about the fluffy pets curled up on the couch. We're talking stray dogs, hard-working police dogs, the dogs that just wander the community. For one day, every single one of them is treated like royalty, celebrated for their loyalty and their friendship. So how do they do it? Well, the worship comes down to 3 really beautiful acts. First, they place a garland of marigolds called a mala around the dog's neck. It's a sign of respect, of dignity. Then they put a tika, that's a red mark made from powder, right on their forehead as a blessing. And to top it all off, they get an amazing feast. It's a thank you for everything they are. And this spirit of compassion it's everywhere. To see street dogs who might be totally ignored any other day of the year, suddenly decorated with flowers and given all this delicious food, it's such a powerful symbol of community kindness. In fact, get this, on Kukur Tihar, it's actually considered a sin to disrespect a dog in any way. The celebration also gives a huge shout out to the working dogs. The Nepal police, for example, holds this really cool ceremony for their canine unit. The dogs get to show off their amazing skills, sniffing out contraband, helping solve crimes, and the best of the best, they actually get medals. There's even a Dog of the Year award, which is just awesome. So you might be wondering, why dogs? Why all this incredible reverence? Well, the answer goes way deeper than just their cute companions. It's actually rooted in some really profound Hindu mythology about life, death, and what comes next. See, in Hindu beliefs, dogs are seen as the sacred messengers and guardians for Yama, who is the god of death. So, the thinking goes, if you honor the dogs, you're also pleasing Yama, and that's believed to bring protection and a sense of peace when you think about the great beyond. The scriptures even talk about 2 specific celestial dogs, Shama and Sharvara. And their job? They guard the gates of the afterlife. So by honoring all dogs here on Earth during Kukur Tihar, people hope that these 2 divine guardians will look out for their loved ones who've passed on and, keep them safe on their journey. But maybe the most powerful story of all comes from the epic Mahabharata. There's this righteous king, Yudhishthira, and he's on this long, hard journey to get to heaven. The only one with him is his loyal dog. When he finally gets to the gates, the god Indra is there to welcome him, but he says, sorry, the dog can't come in. And Yudhishthira, without even hesitating, says no. He refuses to enter heaven if it means abandoning this creature who was so devoted to him. And in that very moment, the dog transforms. It was Yama, the god of death, in disguise the whole time, testing his character. And because of that incredible loyalty, the gates of heaven swing wide open. And you see this deep respect all over Hindu traditions.
I mean, this is the deity Bhairava, a super fierce form of the god Shiva. And his divine ride, his vahana, is a dog. A god and his dog. It's this amazing ancient parallel to what we see today during Kukur Tihar, right? It's a perfect example of how that mythological world connects directly to the world we live in.
Okay, so this incredible tradition isn't just staying within Nepal's borders anymore. Its message, this deep compassion and respect for animals, is really starting to catch on all over the world. Wherever Nepalese communities have settled, they've brought Kukur Tihar with them, which is amazing. But it goes even further than that. The festival has actually been adopted in places like Mexico City. They use it as a day to raise awareness about animal welfare and to just promote respect for all animals. How cool is that?
And, this message of compassion really stands out when you compare it to other events. On one hand, you have Kukur Tihar, where dogs are worshipped and seen as sacred. And on the other, you have something like the Yulin Festival in China, which gets so much international criticism for the consumption of dog meat. It really throws into sharp relief just how special and important Nepal's festival is as this positive, global symbol for how we should treat animals.
But it's also really important to be realistic here and look beyond this one amazing day. Because for the other 364 days of the year, a lot of stray dogs in Nepal face some serious challenges. The feral dog populations can even cause problems for wildlife conservation, sometimes threatening endangered animals like red pandas and snow leopards, either through competition for food or by spreading diseases. And that's exactly why conservation groups are on the ground, working hard on programs to vaccinate and sterilize the dogs, to protect both the dogs themselves and the incredible local wildlife.
So, when you boil it all down, Kukur Tihar is so much more than just a festival, right? It's this powerful statement about a value we can all connect with, loyalty. And it kind of leaves you thinking, how do we honor the loyalty we get in our own lives, whether it's from our pets or our friends or our family? At the end of the day, Kukur Tihar is just this beautiful, living reminder of one of the oldest and purest friendships on the planet. It's a day set aside just to say thank you. Thank you for the unconditional love, the protection, and the companionship that our best friends so freely give us.